In every great story of triumph, there is a moment of despair, a point where all hope seems lost, and the road ahead is shrouded in darkness. Yet, history teaches us that from the deepest trials can arise the greatest victories. The stories of three iconic Americans, Abraham Lincoln, Harriet Tubman, and Martin Luther King Jr., demonstrate the incredible power of faith to transform lives, overcome adversity, and leave an indelible mark on the nation. These are stories not only of struggle, but of resilience, faith, and an unyielding commitment to justice. The humble president who found strength in faith, Abraham Lincoln, is remembered as one of the greatest American presidents, leading the country through its most trying period, the Civil War. But few know the full extent of his personal suffering and how his deep faith carried him through the darkest moments of his life. Born into poverty in a log cabin in Kentucky, Lincoln faced hardship from an early age. His mother passed away when he was just a child, and his father was often absent. Despite these early challenges, Lincoln taught himself to read and developed a love for literature and learning. However, his personal and political life was far from smooth sailing. He faced numerous failures before ever becoming the 16th President of the United States. From the loss of his first job to failed political campaigns, Lincoln's early adulthood was filled with disappointment. Many believed he would never rise above his circumstances. Yet, Lincoln's greatest test came when he was elected president in 1860, and the nation descended into civil war. The pressures of war and the responsibility of leading a divided nation weighed heavily on his shoulders. Lincoln's personal life was also filled with grief. He lost his beloved son, Willie, to illness, and his marriage to Mary Todd Lincoln was fraught with difficulty. In the midst of these challenges, it was Lincoln's faith that sustained him. Lincoln was not a man of grand displays of religious fervor, but his faith was deeply rooted in a belief in a higher power and the moral responsibility to act justly. During the Civil War, Lincoln frequently turned to prayer for guidance. He made it clear that his decisions were not just for political reasons, but were driven by a sense of divine purpose. He famously declared, "The will of God prevails," acknowledging that his actions as president were aligned with a greater divine plan. It was Lincoln's faith that helped him make the difficult decision to issue the Emancipation Proclamation, a move that would change the course of American history and lay the foundation for the abolition of slavery. Despite the overwhelming odds, Lincoln's faith gave him the strength to persevere. In the end, his leadership during the Civil War helped preserve the Union and reshape the moral fabric of the nation. His faith, his vision of justice, and his unwavering commitment to equality made him a beacon of hope and a symbol of what can be achieved when one remains steadfast in their beliefs. The Underground Railroad conductor who defied all odds, Harriet Tubman's story is one of courage, faith, and an unbreakable will to fight for freedom. Born into slavery in Maryland around 1822, Tubman's early life was marked by unimaginable hardship. She was beaten, overworked, and denied the basic human rights that most people take for granted. Despite this, Tubman never gave up hope. From a young age, she believed that she had a higher purpose, and it was her unshakable faith that would lead her to make history. When Tubman was around 25 years old, she escaped slavery and fled to Philadelphia, seeking freedom in the North. However, her faith in God and her sense of duty did not allow her to rest. After experiencing the horrors of slavery firsthand, Tubman knew that she could not enjoy her freedom while others remained enslaved. Guided by her deep spiritual belief that God had called her to help others, she made the courageous decision to return to the South not once, not twice, but 13 times, leading hundreds of enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. The danger she faced on these missions was unimaginable. The Fugitive Slave Act made it a crime to help runaway slaves, and bounty hunters were constantly on the lookout for her. Yet, Tubman never wavered in her mission. She believed that God had chosen her for this work, and that He would guide her through the perilous journey. In her autobiography, Tubman spoke about the visions and dreams she had, which she attributed to divine guidance. She once said, "I never ran my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." Tubman's courage and faith were not just about escaping slavery for herself. They were about helping others, and in doing so, she became one of the most significant figures in the fight against slavery in America. Her work as a conductor on the Underground Railroad eventually led to her being called Moses, after the biblical figure who led the Israelites to freedom. Harriet Tubman's faith gave her the strength to endure unimaginable hardship and, in the process, became a guiding light for others seeking freedom. The minister who changed the world, Martin Luther King Jr., was one of the most influential leaders of the civil rights movement and is remembered for his unwavering belief in justice, equality, and love. But King's journey to greatness was not without its struggles, and his faith played a central role in his ability to overcome the challenges that stood in his way. King was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929, and raised in a family deeply rooted in the Christian faith. His father was a prominent Baptist minister, and King himself followed in those footsteps, becoming a pastor. However, King's true calling emerged when he witnessed the profound injustices that African Americans were subjected to in the segregated South. Fueled by his belief that all people were created equal in the eyes of God, King became an outspoken advocate for civil rights. In the early 1950s, King took on a leadership role in the Montgomery bus boycott, which was sparked by Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat to a white man. King's faith in God was central to his leadership during this time. He preached nonviolent resistance, inspired by the teachings of Jesus and Mahatma Gandhi. King believed that love and nonviolent action were the only true paths to justice, and he remained steadfast in his commitment to these principles, even in the face of violence, hatred, and personal danger. King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech, delivered during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, called for an end to racism, discrimination, and injustice in America. But it was his deep faith that gave him the courage to stand before thousands of people and dream of a world where all people would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. King's faith did not waver, even when he faced threats on his life, bombings of his home, and the constant fear of being killed for his activism. In 1968, King's life was tragically cut short when he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. However, his legacy lives on as one of the most powerful advocates for racial justice and equality in American history. Martin Luther King Jr.'s commitment to nonviolent protest and his Christian faith led him to inspire millions and shape the course of history in the United States. His faith, his vision, and his leadership continue to inspire those fighting for justice and equality around the world. Faith and overcoming adversity, a legacy of triumph. The stories of Abraham Lincoln, Harriet Tubman, and Martin Luther King Jr. demonstrate the incredible power of faith in the face of adversity. Each of these individuals faced insurmountable challenges, yet through their deep belief in God and their commitment to justice, they rose above their circumstances and changed the course of American history. Their lives remind us that no matter how difficult the road may seem, faith can provide the strength and guidance needed to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. In every moment of darkness, they found light. In every trial, they found purpose. And in every struggle, they found the courage to keep moving forward, knowing that with faith, they could change the world. These stories are not just about historical figures. They are about the human spirit and the unbreakable power of faith to carry us through. They are a call to believe in something greater than ourselves and to trust that, even in the darkest times, we too can rise above our challenges and make a difference.